we are going to discuss uh, Today we are going to discuss on the material vigilance. What is material vigilance and what are the opportunities you have into this area in medical devices? So that's we are going to have just a basic introduction on the material vigilance, regulatory affairs, and the clinical affairs. So we'll start on that. I'll just share my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible for you.
Yeah, ma'am, it's useful.
Okay. Mm-mm. Just give me a minute. Okay, we are on the page. So today we are going to discuss on the material vigilance. What is material vigilance? What is regulatory affairs? What are the medical devices? And what is the clinical affairs? And also we are going to discuss on the eligibility criteria to apply for the jobs and what are the basic skills you required. And also we are going to discuss on what are the opportunities you have in both all of these areas. So basically, we'll start with the basic start. It's what is the material vigilance? What is the vigilance? So vigilance is nothing but the close monitoring. So material vigilance, it means the close monitoring of for the medical devices. So it is coordinated system of identification, collection, reporting, and analysis of untoward occurrences associated with the use of medical devices and protection of the patient's health by preventing its reoccurrences. It is always be an independent generation of evidences on the safety of the medical devices. Also, it capture and the record the suspected medical device adverse events like death or serious deterioration in a health state of health, serious injuries, disabilities. It means the material vigilance is the activity which all the manufacturers should be conducted once their device is launched into the market to see how this device is safe to the users, how this device is safe to the patients. The users can be a patients, users can be a doctors, nurses, any health professionals. So those how your device is safe for all of them. To check, we have to conduct the monitoring. We have to do the monitoring to your device. So that is the one department that every manufacturers do have in house, or sometimes the manufacturers prefer that to give a project to the product service based companies. So product based and service based, both we have options to go for a job to have opportunities into the material vigilance. So we saw that like what is the material vigilance, so what is the purpose to we are doing this, we are conducting this post market surveillance or the material vigilance. uh, so it is to create a system for the patient monitoring, patient safety monitoring, and also it's including the patient or device performance. We have to monitor that, and also it is to analyze the risk benefit ratio of the devices, as we saw in the previous slides that we have to see if it is there are some certain serious injuries to the patient, serious injuries to the users. So those all we have to analyze. So also to when we analyze that, when we are conducted the post market surveillance for that, So we have to generate the data on safety of the devices. And also it is to support the regulatory body in a decision-making process on use of devices. So it is very important point. We can say that to support the regulatory body. What does it mean to support the regulatory body? It means if your device is safe into the market launch, then only the regulatory body will give you the like continuation of your device into the market. Because if there are any serious injuries are happen due to your use of device, then maybe it is harmful to use that for a human being, right? So that's why regulatory body to they always take care about the safety and performance, how your device is performing into the market. So they collect all the data, or they collect all the evidences to be your device into the market. It's to communicate the safety information on the use of devices to various stakeholders to minimize the risk. If there are a risk with your device, use of the device, then we have to conduct the risk management or the post-market surveillance to see that how can we minimize the risk from your device? How can we mitigate the risk from your device? So for that also, we have to conduct the risk management, and we have to collect the evidences. We have to collect the data. So to collaborate with the other healthcare organization, internal agencies for exchange of the information and the data management. It means if you are planning your device to launch into the India market or into the European market or any other regions. So we should be we have to be proof that yes, our device is safe for your country's population, and it is safe for the humans in your countries. So we have to check that if you are into the Europe market or the US market and the Indian market. So Indian weather, Indian people, all culture, it's different from the other regions. So there are some different regulations for that uh, we have to follow all those we have to follow those regulations to fit into the market. So this is all about the purpose of the materiovigilance to conduct the post-market surveillance, the risk management. These are the areas which comes under the materiovigilance. So we are talking about materiovigilance, we are talking about the medical devices. So what is the medical device? What we are talking about? So is it like the medical device is only that we are using into the hospitals? Or is it that we are using only with the patients which are operated or which are going through any hospital treatments? So it's not. So medical device is always that any product which is intended for medical purposes. So medical purposes, it can be indirectly also. Like for example, at your home also, there are some certain of products which we called as a medical devices. For example, the cotton balls or earbuds, which we use to clean our earwax. So that is also the medical device. Okay. So medical device are not only it can be used on the humans, it can be used for the animals also. So this all about the medical devices, and it should be having therapeutic benefits, indirect benefits or direct benefits, like as I mentioned that the earbuds or the cotton balls. Cotton balls we can use if any patient or if any person is going through of any surgeries or ear surgeries or anything. So after that, to take care of all those the post care of the surgeries, post care of the operating, we use cottons to clean the ears. It means this cotton is giving you the indirect benefits, the medical benefits to clean the wax, to clean that watery solution comes out of the ear that we clean. So for that we use the cotton balls. So that is also the medical device in few of the markets. So every market is having a different criteria to say that it is the medical device in our market. So that also we are going to discuss in further slides. So it's generally we have a physical or a mechanical effects on the body or used to measure, modify and monitor the functions, body functions. So all few of the devices used to measure or use few of the devices can be a sterile. Before using that, we have to sterile. So those are also comes under the medical devices. So medical devices, is it the all medical devices come under the one criteria or what is the range of those devices? So definitely there is a range of devices, like simply we can say that, sorry, low risk devices, lower to medium risk and medium to high risk. There are the three classifications of medical devices. It is totally depend on the risk of the devices, and that for that also we have a different classifications as per the uh, regulations of the country. Like for example, European MDR, we follow the MDR medical device regulations. In that, for European Union, they have a classifications rules. So we have to check that which classification, which rule the your device is come under. So on that basis, we decide what is the risk of your device, what is the rule it comes under. So all we have to check with the guidelines. So in general, we saw what is the medical device. And as I mentioned that there are different regions, different countries we have, that they have different definitions for the medical devices. Because if your cotton balls are maybe a medical device into the India market, but maybe it's not into the European Union, or maybe it's not into the FDA. So it's all about the what are your guidelines saying, what are your regulations are saying. So we have to check that what is the definition of medical devices they have conducted for us. So if you can see that, if you can see here for the US or the European Union, they have their own definitions. So if it is fall under these definitions, and then we can say that yes, our cotton balls are medical devices in a USA. So we can go for a launch over there. So this is the criteria. These are the definitions we must have to check. Okay. So what's next? Once we saw the what is medical devices, we are saying this is the definition of this. So on which basis you will go for the launch of your product? That is the main important thing. So medical devices have different classifications, and it is important. Without a classification, or if you don't know the risk of your device, that if your device is low class, it means there is no major harm to the patient or major harm to the users, right? So we have to check that. We have to check with the regulatory classification, that the different classifications of the areas. So why it is important? Why always the classification is important? It is to determine what you must do prior to its market introduction, or also it helps you to establish the requirements during the product development phase, especially the design controls. So because as per the classification, or as per the risk of your device, what are the materials, what is what that material is going to be harm to the any of the users. All we have to see. So it all comes under the development phase. So that also we have to consider it, that if it is you are planning for the particular region, if you are planning for the Europe region, so what are the concern areas that you have to take care at while development phase of your product. So that's why also the classification is important, and the component determining timing, cost to place in the devices, what will be the cost of your device to place into the market. So it is also vary on your classifications, on your risk class. So these are the different classification. For the European region is class 1, class 2A, class 2B, and class 3 devices. These are the levels of the risk, and it is totally based on the intended use of the device. What is the purpose of your device? That clarify, that determines the risk classification. So for FDA also, they have a class A, class B, class 3, and India market also class A, B2, A, B, C. So these are the different classification. For that also, we already conducted the few of the courses to go in depth what are the classifications and why it is important. How can you determine, how can be a clarity on your classification once you start working on those areas. So for that also, we already conducted few of the courses. So all of you can join the courses, and we will have a brief discussion on that. We will have a detailed description on that. So it will help you to get a job for you. It will, if you have a basic understanding of medical devices, types of medical devices, classification of medical devices. So it's always be easy to get a job for the freshers, also for experienced people. Because few of the experienced professional, those are maybe the different backgrounds. They are from the different background, and they want to jump into the medical devices background, medical devices jobs. So for that also, it's going to be helpful. So this course is in detail of the medical devices. So we are talking all about the medical devices, classifications, and the risk. All we know that. Okay, so once we know all these things, how is it enough to come your device on the market, to launch your device into the market? No, there are some certain criterias, there are some certain regulations that we need to follow. We have to comply with all the documentations, and then only we can come for the launch your device. So that all comes under the regulatory affairs of the medical devices. So regulatory affairs, it can be for a drugs, it can be for the medical devices, but these are the uh, different domains, we can say, because there are different regulations for the devices, different regulations for the drugs. For example, materiovigilance, as we discussed, materiovigilance and the pharmacovigilance. Both we can compare. Like pharmacovigilance, it's all about, we discussed for the drugs, the post-market of drug. And the materiovigilance, it's all about the medical devices, post-market medical, like post-launch of your device. So it is, we can compare with the drugs and the medical devices. Definitely we can compare it, but definitely it's not be a same, because everyone is having a different criteria. So for this medical affairs, this is a profession to develop as a result of government concerns to safeguard public health by controlling the safety and efficacy of products manufactured by medical device companies. Regulatory affairs play a vital role throughout the life cycle of device. So, for example, as I say that the medical device regulatory affairs is kind of regulatory professionals needs to be aligned with from the R&D department till the your market launch and after market launch also. So it's kind of we have to take care. The regulatory professional will take care all the sites throughout the life cycle of the device. So it's kind of regulatory affairs professional is the boss of all the departments. You can say that. So it's enable medical device manufacturer to advise pre-market strategies, drafting regulatory submissions, and ensuring the post-market compliance. So, in short, the regulatory affairs is the different department in all the medical devices manufacturing. All the manufacturers should have comply their documentation, their product with the guidelines. So, for that, we need a regulatory profession. Okay, so those are you will have a huge opportunities in a regulatory affairs. I can say that because my experience into the medical devices, and that is if I'm comparing with the drugs, regular medical devices market is very huge, and it's developed market now, and all other regulations are coming into the market, and everyone needs the regulatory professionals. So previously the scenario was different, but nowadays it's like the regulatory affairs job is every company needs that. The consultants they needs that. So you can have an opportunity into the product based companies, or you will have an opportunities for the service based companies. Both you will have an option, and believe me that there are so many options. You will have an better opportunities, very good opportunities, if you are thinking to jump into the regulatory affairs. So regulatory affairs is the key area for all those freshers or the experienced candidates who is having um, QC experience or the R&D experience. Those are also they can come into the regulatory affairs. So this is all about the regulatory affairs area. So we can see that, like as I mentioned, that the regulatory affairs department, it's department like it's a boss of the all the departments, or it is interconnected with all the departments. Like it is connected with the raw material departments, the R&D departments, production, quality control, quality assurance, packaging. All these departments are interconnected. So why we need that? Why this regulatory affairs department need that? Because if you are the RA consultant, or you are the concerned person who is going to launch one product into European market, or India market. So if you are going to launch your product into the India market, you have to comply with all the regulations. For that, you have to check that what is the raw material used for your device development. So what is the procedure to develop your device? What are those phases they have gone through? Is there any clinical or preclinical testing has been done on your devices? Like for example, if your devices comes under the skin contact of the patient, or maybe it comes under the skin contact with the users, that can be a doctor, nurses. So we have to check that is that safe for a skin? Is there any irritations? Is there anything that it's going to be toxic to the patient? So all these tastings by biocompatibility testing, that also regulatory affair person, professions that cross-check all this documentation, and then we can say that yes, this is all the testing we have done, and this is we all following your regulations, so it is safe for your region. So this is the interconnected departments for the regulatory affairs area, and exactly like these are the interconnected areas, but what are the responsibilities that regulatory affairs professionals needs to be done. What are those? What they are responsible for? So first important thing is that to keep a track record, ever changing legalization. If there are different regulation, different legalizations that sometimes it's changed, so we have to check that, we have to follow that regulations, and then we can see that we have to keep a track on that. Also, we advising, they are responsible to advise on the legal and scientific restraints and the requirements. Also, they are responsible to collecting, collating, and the evaluating scientific data, and presenting the registration document to the regulatory agencies. The regulatory person is the one who is prepare all this documentation, and they present the regulatory body to what are the technical documentation or what are the registration documents are required for your device to register your device into the market. The giving the strategies and the technical advice, because the regulatory person should have a knowledge on should have a knowledge on all the regulations of the different countries. This is to also the regulatory affairs, helping the company avoid problems and market approvals. Definitely, it's come on the technical documents, including the registration of the device. Right. The main part is what are the registration documents you need for your device. So that is the main important part, and that's gonna be prepared into the regulatory affairs. If you come under this profession, if you come under this regulatory domain, so what are those technical documentation we needs to be prepared? Those are for that also we already conducted the few courses, and all we are gonna teach you how you can prepare these technical documentations, and how what are those technical documentation. Step by step we will guide you, and we will have a detailed discussion on that, and definitely it's gonna be like in your first interview also it will be helpful for you to impress, or we can say the knowledge of the regulatory affairs area. So that courses definitely help you to mm, get your good jobs, and also the knowledge of the regulatory affairs domain. So this is one we saw that material vigilance, that is the post-market surveillance area, and also we saw the regulatory affairs area. So for regulatory affairs area also we saw that into the medical devices, the clinical evaluation also, it's nowadays it's a major part for few of the regions. So we need to conduct the clinical evaluation of your device. We should, the manufacturer should conduct the clinical evaluation for your device to say that your device is safe into the market, your device performance is good into the market. So for that, clinical evaluation, to conduct the clinical evaluation is very important. So how can we do that? How this clinical evaluation, what is this term, the clinical evaluation term? So it is the systematic and a planned process to continuously generate, collect, analyze, and access the clinical data pertaining to your device in order to verify the safety and performance of the device, including the clinical benefits of the device when used as intended by the manufacturer. So this is the process where we generate a data. It's not always about the data is there with the manufacturer. It's not only about the performance testing, what the manufacturer has done on their devices. In a clinical evaluation, we have to conduct we have to generate the data. So how we generate all those data? So there are also a few steps. There are guidelines, regulations which we needs to follow to conduct this clinical evaluation. Okay, so this area also nowadays, it's a huge area to huge domain, huge area to get an good opportunities, good career for all these all of you. Okay, so clinical evaluation, it's like there are so many different profiles comes into the market nowadays for IT industry, for product-based companies and the service-based companies. So they do have a different job profiles only on the clinical evaluation because it is one of the important area into the medical devices. So for this clinical evaluation also, we are going to conduct the different course only for the clinical evaluation. So how we do that, how we generate, how we collect the documents, how we prepare the documents. And this is if you prepare into the clinical evaluation, definitely you will get a good job because regulatory affairs is a huge area, but the clinical evaluation is a one area that if you gonna prepare for yourself, you will definitely get a good job. So how we conduct this, how we do this clinical evaluation, there are also different stages, that stage 0 to stage 4. In stage 0, like to creating the plan of your clinical evaluation till to create the report of your clinical evaluation. So in between also, we have to identify that what are the documentations you have with, what are the documentation the manufacturer have for your device. Like that, we can say that non-clinical data, the manufacturers have that because verification, validation testings, biocompatibility studies, design plan, design reports, all this comes under the preclinical documentation and the performance testing. So this one type of data we have. So another type of data we have to create. So for that, all companies are set their own department on the literature search, and also the product based companies are they are only placing as a literature search specialist or as a medical writer, or we can say there are some different job profiles they have created only for this stage 1. Okay, only for the stage 1. So this is kind of you will have a huge possibilities, and definitely you will get a job into the clinical evaluation profile because nowadays it's different from every stages. Also they are trying to place different candidates, different professionals, because it's also the one of kind of we have to create a data. It means it's lot of responsibilities are there. So stage 0 to stage 4. So in stage 0 to stage 4, there are a different kind of documentation will come. First is clinical evaluation plan. That plan we have to create before starting your clinical evaluation. Because always, if you are doing something, you have to check what is the scope and what will be your plan to create the report. So in stage 1, we collect all the data. We do a plan for the literature search. We create the analysis part in a stage. For stage 2, we needs to do the appraisal, and the stage 3, we have to do the analysis of all this data, which we already collected into the stage 2, stage 1. So these all documentations we are going to discuss in our courses, that is gonna be a helpful how you create your clinical evaluation plan, how you create your literature search plan. and how can you collect your clinical data on your device. Okay, so all nowadays you will get a job as a medical writer, you will get a job into the clinical affairs. So that's all about the clinical evaluation. If you focus on this area, if you learn this area, definitely you gonna be a great opportunities in India, out of India, everywhere. Because medical device market, it's like it's developing day by day. Drugs market, it's already developed, so maybe there are already the professionals are there. But for the medical devices, it's a new market, and every company wants their own employees. So this is one domain that you can look for, and you can go for. Okay, so this is how we conduct the clinical evaluation. And for to conduct all those clinical evaluation, or the regulatory affairs areas, or the material vigilance, is it like if I'm thinking that that my product is I'm going to launch into the any of the market, can I do this on my own? No, there are some guidelines, there are some standards that we needs to follow. Manufacturer needs to follow the country specific guidelines and the standards for introduction of device into the market and safe and effective use throughout its life cycle. Right. So that's what the regulatory department works on. For a clinical evaluation also, we have to follow some guidelines, some regulations. Like European Union, clinical evaluation is on the priority. Without clinical evaluation of your device, you can't go, you can't place your device into the market. Okay, so these are some guidelines for the European Union. There are also the previously it was the MDD, the Medical Device Directive, and nowadays it comes the Medical Device Regulations. And India market also, they have their own rules, medical device rules, and quality management system, ISO 13485 2016. It's a standard, and if your manufacturer needs to be comply with the ISO 13485, we need to have that certification. Okay, so these are the guidelines and standard. Definitely we will discuss in our courses that what are those guidelines, what are those standards, and in-depth understanding of the standards, which standards you're going to refer for which country, what are the regulatory bodies, all everything we are going to discuss into our detailed courses. Okay. We so all it's about the regulatory affairs, clinical affairs, metro vigilance. It's post market surveillance. What is the eligibility criteria to enter into the market, enter into the jobs, or to have a jobs? So any graduation that can be a science side, MBBS, BDS, mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering, engineering background students also can enter into the medical devices, because the medical devices, it's a huge area. They needs into the some technical things to understand, we need engineers, and some clinical things we understand, we need a BDS, MBBS, or the biomedical students, and also the pharmacy students. If you done the MSc, BSc into the chemistry, those can also eligible to apply for this role. Okay, so this is eligibility criteria. If anyone is having, if anyone is falling under this these degrees, they all can welcome, and we will guide you how can we go further. So this is the eligibility. What are the required skill? Only it's not about the always we have eligibility, we have a degree, and we can go with that. No. So required skills are we need to have a good communication skills. We always have analytical background, analytical skills, research skills, computer skills, ability to manage a project, ability to manage a team members, ability to work with the team members, work with the team. It's not always the work independently. Presentation skill, talent for negotiation. So all these required skills are there. So for this also, we already have some soft skill programs into the race training. So you can go with that. And definitely it will help you to prepare for the interviews, how you can face the interviews. All this comes under the soft skills. So for that also, we have some different and separate courses. And into this course also, I'm going to guide you that how can you prepare technical interviews, how what skills you required, how can you do that, how can you face the interviews, all these technical aspects I will guide you. But for soft skills, we already have some different courses. So this is the there are different job roles into the market. So every company have their own criteria to what job profile they can offer you. Okay, Materiovigilance is the post market surveillance. So they do have a quality engineer, post-market specialist, or complaint investigations, the vigilance specialist. So these are the different profiles they do have, and it's totally depend on the company what they are gonna offer you, which profile they wants to be into their records. Okay, uh, but definitely there is an all we have very good opportunities, so many profiles, and the openings into the market. We can go for that. So these are few of the companies I listed out that works on the medical devices: Stryker, ITC, Parexel, Medtronic, Novartis, IPA, Lupin. So all these are the companies. So it's not only about that the manufacturers are placing for these profiles. No, the service-based companies, for example, HCL, Wipro, Cognizant, that we all call the IT companies, those are the service-based companies. Those are also offering you the regulatory specialist job roles, uh, clinical affairs job roles, the post-market surveillance job role, because all the manufacturers can't, they don't have a in-house department for a regulatory activities. So what they do is they hand over the projects to the service-based companies like HCL, Wipro, Cognizant, or L&T. All these big companies are working on that. So on that project basis, they start working on these projects. So clinical affairs also one of the huge area which every company is demanding for the employees. So this is one of the good opportunity you have that. So last, what we are offering to you. Okay, we all see the basics of material vigilance, regulatory affairs, clinical affairs, and all these courses. Basic understanding we already have now. But it's not all about the basic understanding. It's all about in-depth understanding. Okay, so we are offering you the material vigilance courses, regulatory affairs training. What are the different technical documentation comes under the regulatory affairs? How we register our products? What are the databases we use? What are the sites we use? What are the guidelines, regulations we follow? The same for the material vigilance. Okay. And also we are offering the clinical affairs training, like how we develop the clinical evaluation, how can we conduct the clinical evaluation, how we will be on document your clinical evaluation, how can you document that clinical data, how can we conduct the clinical data. So for that, we will teach you that clinical evaluation plans, literature plan, appraisal, analysis, literature search, and reports. All this we are going to include into the clinical affairs training, and all this in details you will get an idea. If you have any issues, any problems, if you need a consultation on what courses you can choose, and what is the growth for that, definitely you can get back to me or Reshma or Mr. Kiran. We all are here to help you. Okay. We will definitely consult you which course is good for you, what is your interest, and also we will help you to give an idea on the salary, on the packages, what you can get it on this all these courses from these job profiles. Okay, and definitely there are very good opportunities for freshers if definitely you will get and good packages into this field, because this is a demanding area into the medical devices nowadays. If you compare with the drugs, you will, if you are getting, for example, if you are getting into the drugs regulatory, the 5 lakhs, definitely you will get a higher hike into the medical devices. Okay, because this is a developing area right now. It's so that's why regulations are changing. We need employees, we need candidates. We have lots of work into the market. So you all can choose the courses in all these three if you are interested into the medical devices. And trust me, medical devices, it's really an interesting field to work, to start your work, start your journey. So anyone have any doubts, please feel free to get back to me. You can also reach out to Reshma or Kiran. All are there to help you, and we are here to guide you. Okay. Anyone have any questions? Okay. If we don't have any questions, then it's all for today. And if anyone